Live from Soho, New York City, it's our favorite show, Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It's December 17th. I hope you're getting your holiday season on. I know I can't stop listening to Christmas music wherever I go.
That's right.
Involuntarily. But today we're going to talk about some wearable electronics. With me is Phil, Mr. Lady Ada himself. What's on today's show, Phil?
Today's show, I'm a little out of breath.
You just run up the stairs?
Yeah, I just did some Stairmaster.
You really gotta work on
my legs.
The little break between your cardio and the show.
Yeah, today's leg day. So okay. Today on the show we've got Wearable Wednesday.
We're debuting a silly video for you today.
Component of the week.
It's this really neat skull pendant.
Tools we really like.
Here are some of our favorites.
Questions and answers. You have questions? Becky has some answers.
If you have a question during the show, you can ask it in the comments. I will queue it up for a future show, making you eligible to win the show's giveaway. This week it's a Flora. So if you asked a question last week or in the middle of the week or whenever, stay tuned to the end of the show and we'll answer some questions and give away a prize.
All that, and it's a celebration of lights.
Happy Hanukkah.
LEDs.
We have that.
Yeah. That's on our site right now.
Yeah, there's a way for you to celebrate.
We were cute, is that we say the celebration of lights, we cross it out, and we say LEDs.
LEDs. Yeah. But happy Hanukkah.
All that and more on Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
That's me. That's my name. I feel like I've just noticed that our lights are a little bright.
These?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just set them up after
what we'll
that.
do is, during the video,
We'll turn
go
them
and
down
do some
a little
things,
bit. Yeah.
And we'll come back here and no one will even know.
It's not like it's live internet TV or anything.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
so
We have a... let's pay some bills first?
Yeah.
Okay. The code's favorite.
If you want to get some last-minute Christmas shopping in, you can get 10% off your entire purchase. I know it says just Flora and wearables, but shh, it's actually most things.
It's everything except for the following.
Except for Taz gift certificates.
Yeah, gift certificates, Eagle Cat software, and the Taz 100% open source Lulzbot
3D printer.
3D printer.
Because it's already on sale.
Yeah, it's already on sale. We did a special thing with Lulzbot. This is the best 3D printer for printing stuff with wearable electronics. Hands down.
And it is already on sale, so you
Yeah.
get 10% off everything else.
I was just noticing your hands were down. But yeah, hands down, it is the best. It's the best. And
Also, hands up.
Yeah, a couple reasons. You can use NinjaFlex.
Yes.
You can print huge things as in helmets and armor.
Yes.
And it's fully open source.
If you can print big, flexible things and
Yeah.
use them as stencils, you can print big, flexible things and then form them around.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so that's the
That's the
caveats.
rundown of
Yeah.
the sale. It's 10% off everything.
Yeah. Okay. Our feature is back. One of our favorite features.
Yes.
Becky, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing a new thing. I have a new thing. You want to go to the overhead?
Yeah.
This is the Ringly. Here's the box it came in. I got mine in the mail yesterday. I pre-ordered this in June. It wasn't a crowdfunding. It's more of a venture funding, but still sort of pre-order model where I pre-ordered this in June and
Okay.
it showed up
Okay.
on Monday. And it is a wearable electronic ring with a semi-precious stone and is gold-plated, and it has an LED in the side here. Inside is a tiny battery, a Bluetooth module. There has to be an accelerometer because when you tap it, it tells you whether or not it's connected to the phone.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the semi-precious stone in it?
This one is an onyx, I think.
Oh, nice.
And then, but there's another one that's green that's like a non-gemstone quality emerald, you know,
Okay.
like a, and then
Okay.
there's a quartz one, and I don't know, there's a couple different colors.
Okay.
Anyway, what I thought was really cool about it is the charging box. So you pre-order something before it exists. It's like you don't really know what it's going to be like when it gets here. And the charging box is not something I was expecting, and I think it's really neat. So it has these contacts here, and the box actually has a battery in it, as well as taking micro USB. So you can plug the box in to charge it up. But then if you want to like go on vacation or travel or something, you just take the box with you, and it has another battery in it. And when you put it in there, the light shines to let you know it's charging.
That's a functional box.
Charges, yep.
Yeah.
And the weight is nice. It's
Can I take a look at this ring for a moment? Okay. So, I'll do it over here. So I guess the thing that I noticed right away is it looks like the two little silver things here. That's where I can zoom in.
that's where it charges. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it charges. It's kind of cool. And then they have it looks like a laser etch or an etching that's there. It looks like
Engraving.
a gold-like material,
Yeah, it was gold plated.
gold-plated. And then when you do things, you said
You
you
double
tap
tap
it, it'll tell you if it's paired or there's certain things.
Yeah. Do you want to see the app on the phone?
Yeah, maybe.
So it comes with its own app. All of their promotional materials show it with Apple products, but it's been advertised, and the reason it looks nice on you. You rock it.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at me.
This is what the app looks like. The Android app didn't come out for like 6 hours after it was at my desk, so I thought that I felt a little bit like, oh, it's here and it's nice and I can't use it, even with our like loaner iPhone, because
Yeah.
it's all about notifications and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it has notifications. You can set a color and a number of vibrations for each type of notification or app. And then it has this like big long list of apps that you can choose to have notifications from. The number of colors is fixed, so there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 colors. And I understand that they're going for like a, curated experience here, but like there are more colors that this thing is capable of making.
So your finger will vibrate if you like get a tweet or something, right?
yes.
That's one of the things it can do.
It can do that, yes, or a text message or an email or a phone call. And then you're supposed to also be able to, I don't know if the iPhone app does this and not the Android app, but you're supposed to be able to filter by contact also, so that I could say like only flash blue when you're calling me. And so like, because it's geared towards women who wear jewelry, it's the like leave your phone in your bag and only if your kids call will you be interrupted is the kind of idea. But it's just really nice to see something so small and
You
pretty.
know what? I like this.
Yeah, I like it too.
I like it. Maybe not for exactly what it is, but the huge potential and the thought that went into this. This is just their first version.
Yeah.
That's pretty good
pretty
for an
sophisticated.
ambient device that kind of does more that It's not all about the thing.
Yep.
It's all about notification. And I like the subtlety of it where maybe all it does is tweet if like I give you a direct message, because that'd be kind of cool. Be like, oh, like,
Yep.
yeah.
It's nice that it's single purpose like that. It's good. I mean, it's pretty comfortable. It's water resistant, so you can wash your hands while wearing it. I'm looking forward to some app updates. I personally would like to be able to use it with any app, any notifications I'm getting at all, and not wait for them to add each app to the. Like if they could write it so that, because it's tapping into your system notifications, so if you could just make it sort your natural system notifications, I would love that.
Okay.
So that I don't have to ask you to add like Wicker, my favorite encrypted chat program, or Words with Friends, and admit to everyone that I love playing Words with Friends. Or that I would really want to know so badly that it's my turn in Words with Friends that I would want it to go to my ring.
That's really cool.
But like, we feel like a real spy if your like encrypted message like lights up red on your ring, and then you know to like go to the terminal and type in the code.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where the making of the thing, the imaginary, we can put Bluetooth and all this stuff inside of a tiny ring, that part's over. Now it's about, well, what can you do with it that's fun and useful and interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we'll be taking a closer look at this. I like it, so I might not want to take this one apart, but if you, maybe we'll do a teardown. I'd like to see what's inside, but I want to play with mine for a little while longer. Anyway, that's What Are You Wearing?
All right, let's kick it off. Wearable Wednesday.
Every Wednesday on the Adafruit blog, we showcase customer projects, cool news in wearables, and other neat things that are going on. So if you want to keep up to date with the hottest and newest wearables news, check out the blog every Wednesday. And this week we have a couple customer projects. This would be a delightful NeoPixel Christmas/Frozen tiara.
Yeah.
And I love it when makers make stuff for their kids.
Yeah.
Because I know as a kid when my parents would make me things, I would be really impressed and like inspired, not only to feel special, like, oh, my parent is so cool, but also then like, oh, it's really easy. It's not easy, but it's possible to do all these, you know, like my parents can do anything, I can do anything.
Yeah, I think there's a study something about, it's not what you read to kids that help them, it's the fact that the parent is spending time reading with them. And I think the next round of, like one day, you know, someone's doing a study somewhere, I'm sure, about, it's not the things that you buy for kids, it's the things that you make with them. It's the time that you spend and the things that you make. So that's really cool. Good project.
Yeah. So
I really like these. This is cool.
Yep, these are some neat NeoPixel LED pumps.
Yeah. Are these like Wizard of Oz, like Ruby Red Slipper type thing, or?
That's what it looks like, but I mean,
I just like stripy gothy socks.
Yeah,
so, like,
I know, me too.
This is everything I like. These are cool. Well, if they are Wizard of Oz things, let us know, because because I think Ozpunk is going to be one of the things.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up.
This is like one segment of a 60 NeoPixel ring acting as turn signals. These are turn signal suspenders for riding your bike.
That's nice.
Pretty neat. Left turn signal. Woo. Safety hazard lights.
All right. And now we're going to get to my favorite part of the show.
We made a music video, guys. It's way outside of my comfort zone, but I'm told that it came out good.
Yeah. Here's something funny. So one day there will be an Adafruit musical. Yeah. Might be like Circuit Playground or whatever, but there absolutely will. Yeah. And this is our first like toe dipping into that.
There you go. Does my audition qualify me for a role in the musical?
Yeah. You just have to do this 5 nights a week. Okay. I have you booked in Vegas for.
Oh, that's better than Broadway.
2019 and 2035. Yeah,
okay.
I thought the contract's taken care of. Don't ask any questions.
Okay. Okay, roll the video, Phil. Hey, Colin, could you hand me my fabric scissors?
Sure. Which ones are those?
The large silver-handled ones.
These are quite nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, in fact, these are some of my favorite tools. Rulers and pliers and orange highlighters, really sharp knives made by Olfa and Fiskars, conductive fibers all wound up on spools. These are a few of my favorite tools. Circuit boards, stencil wipes, solderless breadboards, AC adapters with long USB cords, auto range meters that count up the joules. These are a few of my favorite tools.
trimming my nails with my flush hacko snippers, bright stranded wire and switches on zippers, dangerous torches with pages of rules. These are a few of my favorite tools. When there's blue smoke, when the thread jams,
When the power's out,
I simply remember my favorite tools, 'cause that's what this song's about. Hey, thanks.
Current events.
There we go.
Okay, did you guys like that?
That was a fantastic video.
That's all I got. 2014, I'm done, Phil.
Yeah. Anytime we have a formula here at Adafruit, it's called the Colin sandwich. It's a technical term that we've developed here in our animation lab. So that's actually one of us in one of those green thing suits, like the Gollum character in Lord of the Rings. And that's a digitally imposed Colin. So what we do is we put a Colin in the beginning of the video and at the end.
Yeah.
So I hope it worked out.
People were complaining that Colin didn't sing a whole verse. And I mean, and it is true, Colin has a great singing voice. So,
He
you
does.
know, we're just going to have to
does.
elbow poke him a little
All right.
bit.
That was fantastic. That was absolutely
Thankful.
delightful.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know why this happened. Noah and I were just chatting about like, oh, I need a real quick video to do, and he's like, you could do a roundup of your favorite tools. I'm like, okay, and then like we started brainstorming lyrics, and then like this happened. I don't know. It was like this snowballed from a very quick video
Yeah.
to like a very big production that we did. Yeah, although
Yeah.
it went pretty quickly.
This is great. Okay. Well, if you want to support Becky's singing career,
Please buy some stuff so that
we could do more of these.
we can do more. Yeah,
We could do these every
so
single
that
week.
these can become inside my comfort zone.
Yeah. All right. Component of the week this week. What's going on with this, Bex?
This is a new product. This is the solar-powered skull pendant by Lumen Electronic Jewelry.
Yeah.
You'll remember them from Show and Tell a couple weeks ago, and we have their kit in the store.
That's how it works. You
Yeah.
come on the show and tell, and you say something really cool, and we're like, oh my gosh, can we?
Well, in this case, there's a little more to the story. Leslie blogged their project, and Leslie personally encouraged them to come on the Show and Tell, and then they came on the Show and Tell.
That's the director's cut version of the story that I just told.
I just want to give Leslie a shout out.
Thank you,
'cause she
Leslie.
deserves
Oh, this
it.
is fantastic. They came on the show, and I'm like, oh my gosh, skulls. And so Chalise, who works in kitting, she made one. We had to make sure that these were cool and they worked well, and there was no issues with the instructions. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, they're super cool. So you got all the parts you need. It's a super easy soldering kit. Really fun if you're looking for a project to do over the holidays with your kids or family or whatever. The
Yeah.
photodiodes are fun, and there's no batteries. It stores up a supercapacitor. It's
Yeah.
a really neat circuit and super fun to play with. Charges over USB or ambient light.
Yeah. Thank
And,
you, Leslie, for telling them to stop on the show. That worked out well. If you want to get that cool skull necklace for 10% off, use the code favorite.
Yep.
Okay. Let's keep moving. Tools we love.
Okay, so in honor of our favorite tools week, the tool that we love this week is the Lady Ada Toolkit, which features many of our favorite tools. And if you're looking for the right set of tools to get someone started this holiday season with electronics, Lady Ada's Toolkit is the thing to get. It's a really good value for all of the things that you get in there.
Yeah.
And it comes with everything you need to start soldering.
Personally
So-
picked up by Lady Ada.
Yes, and so you get all the basic hand tools that use electricity. Now, these are the bigger tools. I don't know how to classify these against the other picture. The multimeter, the soldering iron stand, the pan and the pan of ice are your basic like
Yeah, these are the
oven
tool
pots and
tools.
pans.
Yeah.
To like make your stuff, and then your like cooking instruments and your seasonings are your wire, your solder wick, a few basic components to get you started, a solder sucker for making mistakes, and
Yeah.
strippers, pliers, and Hecko flush snippers. And I believe you all know how I feel about my Hecko flush snippers.
Yeah. So if you start off here, there's everything you get. And the tools to make the electronics, and this is kind of the bits and pieces you need to.
It's $100. You can get 10% off
Yeah.
with our code today.
That's right.
It makes a really great gift.
Okay.
So if you were thinking of getting a gift certificate, And you just like don't. And for someone who you think wants to get into DIY electronics, the toolkit is also a really safe bet.
Okay, it's question and answers time, our favorite time of the week.
Questions and answers.
Before we start, how and where do people ask wearable electronic questions for you, Becky Stern?
I'm excited to answer most of your wearable electronics questions. You can ask them in the comments here, in the comments here later, in the comments on the blog, in the comments on the Google+, over Twitter, and I look out for them all over the place. And then I queue them up for a future show, and I consider which questions I'm going to answer so that I can prepare a nice answer for you. No off-the-cuff, unresearched questions for you guys. I take my time to research your answers and queue them up for a future show, make you eligible to win a prize, which usually and today is a Flora.
That's right. It's a Flora. Okay, first question. This is from Carl. Hey, Becky, I'm using the audio board to make a water drop music instrument for an ice sculptor friend of mine. Ooh. The water drop falls through the sensors I made so quickly it does not always work. Is there a way to turn off or turn down the debounce feature? Sorry.
No. So, however, if you're using, like we talked about this last week when we were talking about the different sensors you can use with the audio board, and how the fast vibration and the slow vibration switches don't trigger the audio board because it has debounce built in to make sure that the button doesn't trigger, like falsely trigger over and over, so that when you push the button once, it doesn't like go and like start your sound sample over and over again. So, but what I recommend for you are a couple different things to try. One, can you make it, instead of having the water droplet hit the vibration sensor, can you make it so that the water droplet bridges a circuit, so touches falls down and hits like two wires that are very close to each other and bridges a circuit? Yeah. That would trigger it, because it would probably stay long enough to, longer than the debounce, where the spring in the vibration sensor moves very quickly. The other idea would be to introduce a trinket, which just adds a couple bucks to your project, and then you can debounce or not debounce the input, and then use another output to trigger the audio board.
Okay.
Sounds like a fun project.
This is a long question, so I'm just going to summarize it. Basically, this person has a challenge, and the challenge is they are wrapping up a lot of wood in Canada, and it's in a sawmill, and they wrap it up with plastic, and they use a pneumatic staple gun. And when they staple the plastic, usually someone has their finger in the way, and they staple their finger into the wood, and they want to know if there's a device or a DIY project that would help them not staple their hands into the wood.
It's a very nice thought, Dan.
Yeah, and so you have questions about lasers, and there's stretchy gloves and all that stuff, but what do you think?
Yeah, so I have a couple thoughts about things like this. People ask frequently, like, oh, hey, I want to build this like sensor for to make sure my baby is breathing, or I want to prevent people from falling off cliffs. Lots of like safety things where I kind of like get a little, oh wait, can you like take a step back and think about it for a second? Just because making DIY projects are usually kind of kludgy and first generation, and they're excellent for prototyping and in research phases. Yeah. However, I must put a blanket disclaimer that like making your own safety devices is not the safest idea, right? Because there's unknowns that you don't know about that could impact the performance of this thing you made. Anyway,
you might get a false sense of, I can staple anything now. Now your hand is stapled everything.
Or it just might not work. But so that's my caveat. However, it's an interesting design challenge, right? It's loud, and there's already like some safety things in place that are obviously not cutting the mustard for 100% of the time.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it would be cool to put a laser sight on the stapler. And even though your hands, he said his hand, you can like wrap the stuff and your hands are like pinched in the plastic, and so you don't always see that the stapler is like pointed towards your hand. Yeah. We can't really solve that problem, but I think that if it had a laser sight on it, and it was shining a big red dot wherever it was about to put a staple, that maybe that might remind you, and it wouldn't be dependent on it, you hearing it or feeling a vibrating motor or anything. Yeah. And it also wouldn't have to be a separate thing you put on your other hand. It would just be on the stapler.
Yeah. I had some gloves that was made for not nailing or stapling your fingers. So I was doing like roofing work. Yeah, it was kind of like that. They just kind of like steel toe boots, but for hands. So little dexterity goes away, but you don't have a staple that goes through your hand. It is tough because there's probably someone working on this. Before the show, we were talking about this. If a maker said, "Hey, I have this table saw, and I just want to make it so I can't cut my finger off," we'd probably say that's a really interesting idea. And then, later on, someone actually did do that, and you see all the YouTube videos.
For sauce stop.
Google for
Well,
it.
and
So,
all shops now,
Yeah.
like school shops and stuff, all have this special.
and
table
the video is someone like starting to cut a hot dog, but it stops, and it turns out the cutting hot dogs wasn't the problem; it was cutting the fingers off.
I had to clarify that. For Phil.
But even that being said, I guess the company said we can't actually show someone trying this out with a finger either. So we should stick to the hot dog demo.
So we have to tell you guys that it's and you could use Adafruit stuff to work on the prototype for your invention for a new safety thing that might eventually become a product. I don't think that you in your sawmill should be executing a DIY safety solution for the staplers
or hot dogs.
Okay. Without it being like I don't know, because safety.
Yeah,
Safety is no
Scary.
joking. Yeah, no
Next
messing
up,
around.
this is from Jay. Becky, this sweater project is cool, but how do you
Thanks.
protect it from your electronics from the static that the sweater can create?
We haven't had any problems with static in the sweater.
Yeah, there's a little bit of, I'd say, controversy if you open this topic up too much. So there's ESD, static discharge.
Yeah.
And when you work around electronics, it matters, and you have to have these clips, and we do ESD stuff here. And you can do all the ESD protection in the world, but then when your customer gets their whatever thing, they're walking across the carpet and shock something
Zap
anyways.
it.
So the electronics that we make and the things that we build are pretty hardy. And so
we design really good ground planes and everything so that most of the places where you're say Phil were really staticky or I were really staticky and I had this circuit and it did get shocked directly on the bare audio board, which is not that likely considering my what do they call it in Star Trek? Ugly bag of mostly water. My meat self is far more attractive to that static electricity than this battery-powered circuit that's not even connected to earth ground.
Yeah.
However, say that it did get shocked. We've designed it in such a way that most of the places it can get shocked, it'll have a proper dissipation to ground in a way that won't blow out the circuit. So ESD is a big concern for chip fabs because the chips aren't inside a circuit with static discharge built into the circuit board. So if the chip itself is shocked, the electricity doesn't have anywhere to go but into a place that might damage the chip. So you know how electricity wants to find its fastest path to ground. Most of the boards we make have really big chunky paths on the circuit boards, and the power makes itself to ground before it hurts anything usually. So I get asked this question a lot with the that guy who's ESD, and I'm I've just never had a project fry.
Yeah.
From ESD.
Yeah, you've handled the most floras and gemmas with the most sweaters, and we've never had an issue.
So you don't need to protect it.
Next up, from Steve. Hello, Becky. I have a mascot that I would like to add LED matrix that can display words and pictures. I have found a lot on your site to help me out, but I'm having a hard time with what kind of battery to use. I'm looking at 500 to 1,000 LEDs. I've seen some others online. They say that they run 4 to 6 hours, like the Twitter dress and the T-shirt OS. Any help would be greatly appreciated, Steve.
Hi, Steve. So we have a video about calculating the battery power for your wearables project. Basically, you take the maximum current draw of all of your LEDs, add your microcontroller, and that is the size battery you need at least in milliamp hours. We have, and I like the power bank big USB battery packs that are designed for recharging your phone or powering your Raspberry Pi projects. Those are really nice. That's a lot of LEDs, and so if it's a matrix display, I know you're not going to have them all on all at once. So that's the other calculation you can do. You can get away with a smaller battery as long as you program your animations not to overtax that battery by having all of your LEDs on at once. So our largest power bank USB battery pack is what I'd recommend. But I don't think you're going to get 4 to 6 hours if you're powering 500 LEDs.
Okay, let's. Those are all great
swap
questions.
batteries.
Let's give away a Flora.
Okay, I can do that. I have this other hat here.
And a reminder, where do they post questions?
Here,
Okay.
wherever you are watching this video, Google Plus,
Yeah.
the blog, or YouTube.
You can scream it into your Chromecast. It's like, we get. It's okay. Just go with it. Just go.
Sure.
It gets delivered to us as an audio file, and Becky's ring lights up. Oh, a question.
Steve Morrison,
Steve won.
You won the Flora. Congratulations. The Flora can power that many NeoPixels, so
That's right.
let us know how it goes. I want to see your mascot.
Okay.
Thank you so much. You can email support@adafruit.com to claim your prize, and I'll also reach out to you on Google Plus.
Oh wow, Steve's in the chat.
Oh, Steve, I'm not going to reach out to you on Google Plus then. Just send a message to
Yeah.
support and to claim your Flora.
That's weird.
Thank you for watching.
This is real time. This is like the future.
This is a live.
Now.
It's like we run a live wearable electronic show.
And in our chat, Leslie's here and Sally is here, and that's fantastic. We just saw Sally again. That's great. So if people didn't win a Flora and they're like, man, if it was only 10% cheaper, I would use code favorite.
It is.
And you'll be like, woo, I saved all this money.
Yeah, and remember that Flora is $20 now, so
It
it's $18 with the discount code.
Okay. Well, if this
Super
wasn't
cool.
if this wasn't enough for you, and you have projects to share and show, tonight is your night.
All you have to do is comment on the Google Plus announcement on the Adafruit Google Plus page to ask to be added to the circle.
Yeah.
Then you will be invited tonight and every Wednesday night to the show and tell where you can share your projects. It's been really crowded lately, so if you don't get in, try again later and try again next week.
Yeah.
Or next,
And
whenever
then-
the next one is.
The power hour of engineering. Lady Ada,
Continues.
Ask an Engineer, 5 years running.
Yep.
Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Get the rest of your electronics questions answered, and they have a little bit of a different trivia question prize.
Yeah, it's different. And then, or just different. Or just different.
It's just different.
And then tomorrow, 3D Thursday, it is the biggest and best 3D printing
longest
show
running live 3D printing show
in the history of YouTube Live.
with Matt Noy and Pedro. Don't miss out on the coolest what is happening with 3D printing
Yeah.
and CAD techniques and more.
A little programming note. Next week, no Wearable Electronics with Becky's turn.
No, it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, New Year's Eve, however, yes.
Yes. Christmas Day, no 3D Hangouts. New Year's Day, no 3D Hangouts.
Right. Christmas Eve, show and tell.
You're doing show and tell and Ask an Engineer on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, Ask an Engineer.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, show and tell.
Yeah. That's
New Year's
hot.
Eve,
It's going to be hot.
Ask an Engineer.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Unts, unts.
Yeah. So,
Doodaloo-doo,
so that's that. Okay. So
Cool. So this is our last. So next show will be on New Year's Eve. Will be our last show of 2014. I hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy Hanukkah if you celebrate.
All that stuff.
Happy all of the holidays, and share our favorite tools video because it's the festivest thing I've ever made.
Yeah, we really want Becky to do more musicals. So like, the more we see this video, the more I can be like, it was the most popular video. Becky. You really got to do more videos like this. It's kind of the thing.
If I ever live this one down.
It'll be fine. All right.
Okay, thanks for watching. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.